This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Eli Fierro.
And I'm Jenabeth Gunter. The Cross-Cultural Academic Advancement Center collaborated with the Gay Straight Alliance to host a banquet, and it includes a roundtable discussion. The banquet will be held at the Mackenzie Marquette Alumni Center tomorrow. All faculty, staff, and students are welcome to join. The event starts at 7 and free food will be served. To RSVP, you can call or email the Cross-Cultural Center.
There are hundreds of organizations and clubs for students to stay involved. Reporter Kaylee Meadows tells us about how intramural sports is an active way for students to stay engaged on campus.
For many students at Texas Tech, when spring rolls around, that means one thing. It's time to get ready for indoor soccer intramurals. Sports Club Director Laura Thomas told us a few ways one can get involved with an intramural team.
To get involved in intramural sports, you have to sign up on IM Leagues and make an account, and then come up to the office and then get a team. So there's always a fee associated with the playing, but it's a team fee, and if you don't forfeit, then you get it back. So
Thomas also further explained how intramurals benefit the Tech community.
I think in a lot of different ways. A lot of freshmen come and play intramural sports to get involved and kind of learn what Tech's about and learn the sense of community that we provide as a university. And I think that's a major way that we get new students involved. And then some students meet other students by playing in intramurals, and so they kind of help grow their network here at the campus and make them feel more connected and engaged. And so I think that that's the main way that we help benefit the university.
Thomas said that depending on the team, intramurals can be competitive or laid back.
They kind of are as competitive as you want to make them. A lot of times students that have never played a sport like soccer want to come play intramural sports just to experience it, learn the sport, have fun with friends. And so we really try to push participation in any capacity. So whether that's a full team from high school that played football together or playing flag football, or it's just a group of friends from the dorm playing. We're just trying to get students involved and engaged. So it can be competitive if you want it to be.
Cole Massey, a student at Tech, has played indoor soccer intramurals for 3 years and told us a few of his favorite things about them.
Probably in the sense that they bring a lot of different kinds of people together. You meet a whole lot of people. It's Tech as one rather than every clique and every group that's already been formed. I love playing intramurals. It's probably one of my favorite parts of being at Tech. I would recommend it to absolutely everyone.
We asked Massey how well he thought his team was going to do this year.
My team definitely has the potential to win this year. We have two really good club soccer girls. While club men players and other guys around Tech are pretty close in skill level, the club soccer girls just really outweigh normal students in soccer. So our team is basically a lot more skilled than the normal average team.
Massey said when one wins an intramural, there are a few perks that come along with it.
Once you win the intramural, you get a free t-shirt, and they take your picture and they post it out in the rec center hallway for everyone to see.
For more information, visit room 203 at the rec center and sign your team up today.
The Ultimate Gamer Tournament, originally scheduled for this Saturday, has been canceled. Unfortunately, only 9 students signed up for the event, and heads-up display needed at least 25 participants. The organization will try to host a similar event next semester.
Seniors had the opportunity to show off their designs at the fashion show last weekend. The Texas Tech Apparel Design Department turned the Allen Theater into a runway show. Students who participated in the show have been rehearsing and setting up the event since March, and Saturday was the big payoff.
We have been looking forward to this for like the whole, since your freshman year, so it's like a whole 4 years. It kind of feels like your wedding day, but not. So.
It's pretty exciting, pretty stressful, pretty ready to get it over with, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's the day we get to show everybody all of our hard work.
This year's show was one of Tech's largest, with 18 designers displaying over 190 garments using 70 models. Congratulations to all for a successful show.
Well, the comedy play 12th Night kicks off today and will continue through Sunday.
That's right. Let's turn to Katelynne Newman reporting live from the Machen Theater. Katelynne, who do you have with you today?
Thanks, Jenabeth. Today I have Dr. Bill Gelver. He's the director of theater here at the Department of Theater and Dance, and he's going to tell me a little bit about the play. Can you go ahead and give me a brief synopsis?
Sure, yeah. I did want to point out that we're standing on the set. So one of the things I wanted to say that's kind of a draw for everyone is that there are 42 seats on stage. So if anyone wants to sit closer to the actors, they can. This is a story about a young lady who's shipwrecked, and she believes that her brother is dead. So she decides to don his clothes and go to the court of Orsino and pretend to be a boy, and she becomes a he, Cesario, and becomes his page. He asks her to go woo a lady that he's interested in, and unfortunately, the lady falls in love with her.
Ooh. Sounds like an interesting little plot twist. So, who all is going to be able to come to the show? Is it just for students? Can anyone from around Lubbock come?
Oh, absolutely, yes, and surrounding environs, actually, yes. So
okay.
Anybody that would like to come.
And how much are tickets?
They're $18 for general, and they're $5 for students, although students actually have paid for the tickets with their fine arts fee. So if you come a little bit early, you can get on a list to get in to see the show for free.
Okay, so you just come in and bring your student ID, just show up?
And you get on a list, and they'll release some seats near the start of the show, and then in you come.
Okay, awesome. So when they come in, can they just walk up on stage and sit up here?
Well, if there are seats available, what's happening is people are buying regular seats out here, but then they ask the ushers if they can sit on stage, and then they come up and sit there. So.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And then how long is this play going to be running?
This will be tonight, Friday, Saturday, 8 o'clock, and then Sunday at 2 o'clock. So 4 days.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, that sounds great, and I can't wait to see it. All right, back to y'all.
Thank you, Katelynne. Well, things are heating up in sports this week.
Let's turn to Eric Gerald at the sports desk, who has all the latest on sports. Eric?
Thanks, guys. The Red Raider baseball team has been on a roll again over the last week. The team is currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they are hoping to stretch it even further. This weekend, Tech will take on Kansas and Lawrence. The Jayhawks are sitting at 9-9 in conference, and they too have had a 4-game win streak. The series starts tomorrow night at 6 p.m., followed by a 2 p.m. start on Saturday, and the final game starts at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Tech softball is also feeling pretty optimistic about their season, having won 6 of their last 7 games. The Lady Raiders are also on the road this weekend with their last regular season series against Oklahoma in Norman. Oklahoma is currently sitting in first place in the Big 12, and they are currently riding a 7-game winning streak. Tech will attempt to break that streak, starting with first pitch tomorrow at 6:30. Saturday game starts at 2, and the series finishes up on Sunday at noon. Beyond the diamond, Texas Tech is also seeing great success on the track. The Red Raider track and field team is currently ranked number 9 in the country, while the Lady Raiders fell in at number 25 this week. Both teams get home field advantage this weekend with the Red Raider Open taking place at Tech's Fuller Track and Field Complex. Events start on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Taking a look beyond Texas Tech, there's also been big action in the NBA. The first round of the playoffs have been going on the last 2 weeks, and some of the biggest action has been in the Lone Star State. The Spurs and Mavericks have been going at it since April 20th, and San Antonio currently leads the series 3-2. Game 6 is tomorrow night with a 7 p.m. start, and you can see that on ESPN. The Houston Rockets have also seen their share of action against the Portland Trail Blazers. Currently, the lead is 3-2 in favor of the Trailblazers, but all these games have been won by less than 10 points. Game 6 for the Rockets and the Trailblazers is tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. And again, you can see this action on ESPN. With this being the last newscast of the semester, I just want to wish the best of luck to all the Tech teams who are finishing up their seasons. Hopefully we'll all see them win a championship this year. Remember, Red Raiders, guns up, back to you guys.
And hopefully they do come out with those championship wins. Thank you so much for that report, Eric. Well, the South Central United States was pounded by severe thunderstorms this past weekend, and on Monday, one of those storms dropped a tornado in the middle of Tupelo, Mississippi. The local NBC station stayed on air as long as possible with Chief Meteorologist Matt LeBon at the helm.
The last few moments before the station went off air were captured on video by a local viewer and then went viral on YouTube.
Touchdown has been confirmed at this instant. You'll have to give me a second. We took a power key here at the studio, and I have to get all of my ability to look and see things back. Let's see if we're still on the air. You've got to be in your tornado state. We're still on the air. This is a tornado emergency for Lee County. This is a tornado ripping through the city of Tupelo as we speak, and this could be deadly. Let's go tower cam. There's a damaging tornado on the ground right now. significant tornado touchdown. Base now. Basement now. Let's go. Now. What? Hey, now.
Laban is a former Lubbock resident, having spent 7 years as a meteorologist with local stations KMAC and KLBK.
Yesterday afternoon, weather specialist Carly Smith sat down with Laban via Skype to learn more about his experience.
The area over there recently had an outbreak of tornadoes, and Matt, you have a video of you reporting the storms that has gone viral when you had to take cover. What exactly happened that day?
You know, we knew we were going to have bad tornadoes. We knew we were going to have really bad tornadoes. And we just happened to have the first really bad storm of the day track right toward the station. And so it's just one of those things, very rarely do you become the story. And unfortunately, in this situation, we did, at least for a little while, because of the direct hit the city took. It knocked us off the air. And I think that might have been what helped it to go viral, is the fact that we tell people to evacuate, and all of a sudden it just cuts. So, I mean, it's... We had a pretty bad tornado, and EF3 is what they've rated it, with 150 mile per hour winds. It knocked out power. I still don't have power a couple days later at our house, and a lot of people had a lot of bad damage from that outbreak of severe weather.
Speaking of severe weather, how should people prepare for severe weather, especially out here on the South Plains at Texas Tech's campus?
You know, I think the older generation understands that you have to prepare for severe weather, the ones that lived through the 1970 F5 tornado that moved through Lubbock. I don't know that the younger generation respects severe weather as much. So the first thing they have to do is they need to understand that just because they see it in the contained, television monitor and it looks like it's interesting, doesn't mean that they're safe from that. If a tornado comes toward you, you need to, rather than go try to take a video, go inside, try to get into the most interior portion of your home. I know a lot of buildings and a lot of homes in Lubbock don't have basements, and so most people will be just fine in the center portion of their home for almost every tornado.
Also, just one last quick question. Lubbock has kind of been debating the idea of tornado sirens. Does Tupelo, Mississippi have tornado sirens, and what do you think about the importance of tornado sirens?
I think that Lubbock would be, I think you need as many layers of protection as possible for severe weather. But our tornado sirens failed. Some of the sirens worked, but in the parts of the city that the tornado hit, they failed. Now that sounds familiar because in 1970, with the F5 tornado that moved through Lubbock, the tornado sirens failed then. So I'm not saying it would be a bad idea, but people can't have the false sense of security that tornado sirens will be something you necessarily hear, and the tornado sirens won't fail. Even if Lubbock gets tornado sirens, people need to have other means, whether it's a weather call, KCBD's thunder call, weather radios, the IMAP weather radio app. There have to be multiple things, multiple ways that you find out about a tornado warning. And if you have those multiple layers, you're in good shape. But tornado sirens by themselves are not the solution. It's honestly an outdated technology that's designed for people outdoors. Because if you're in the middle of a thunderstorm, you're not going to hear a tornado siren. You're going to hear the wind. You're going to hear the thunder. You're going to hear the rainfall. So I'm not saying it's a waste of money, but there are other ways in which that money could be spent that might save more lives.
Carly now joins us live from the Majan Theater with a look at our weather. Carly, will we be seeing any tornadoes in the Lubbock area this year?
Hey, Jenabeth, May and June are Lubbock's prime time for severe weather, and when we have severe weather, there is always a possibility for tornadoes. Whether or not we see a tornado, that all kind of depends on, for the most part, that dry line I've kind of talked about. The dry line is what produces the most severe weather out here in West Texas, and so lately it has been stronger off the Cap Rock. And so storms are stronger off the Cap Rock, and therefore tornadoes have formed over the past couple of years, more likely over east of us. But as far as West Texas goes, there is still a chance when that dry line starts to form further west of Lubbock that we will see severe weather, and that severe weather can produce tornadoes. And so I did get the chance to talk with Matt about that since he used to live here, and you can see the full interview at ttuhub.net. But as far as our weather goes, it looks like we're going to have a nice weekend. And so tonight's forecast will drop into the 40s with northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. So it'll still be a little chilly tonight with mostly clear skies. And so tomorrow the sun will come out once again with winds shifting to the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour and the high climbing into the 70s. As we look at our 3-day forecast, you'll see that Saturday and Sunday begin to warm up as our winds begin to shift back from the south, bringing that warm air from the Gulf and mainly from Mexico, because our winds will be blowing from the southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour on Saturday and a little bit stronger on Sunday. So Sunday is a little bit windy, but both highs will be nearing the 90s Saturday and Sunday. As far as our regional travel weather goes, it looks like Dallas Friday and Saturday will be in the 80s, and actually it looks like Austin and Houston will also be in the 80s too. Their rain chances looked relatively low at 10%, and actually most of the country's range, it looks like most of the country will be free from severe weather throughout the weekend. So it looks like a great weekend anywhere. And if you are in Tech, once again, I am outside of the theater where the play is taking place, and so you might want to check that out. It sounded really interesting. And the theater is located across the street from the Wallgate Storm, and the library also is near the theater. So it looks great. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Carly. Well, that's all for the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. And this is also our last show of the semester, as well as Eli's last show on MCTV.
Yeah, it's a sad moment, but it's been a great experience, and I'm just ready to see what happens next in my life. So look for us back here on MCTV starting back in September. Jenabeth will be joining us then. And be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. Have a great summer, and don't forget to wear sunblock and to stay hydrated.